Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon. Today is January 26th, 2026 already. We're almost done with this month. Let me go ahead and fix this screen right here. Hopefully you guys can see. Today we got 111 followers. This channel is growing very fast. I appreciate every single one of you guys that support my channel and that continues to support my channel, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Today we got stocks to talk about. I know. Just in case if you haven't seen, yes, I have a new look. All right, I have a new look. But we're gonna start this week fresh. We're gonna talk about some stocks that we watch Friday for today, Monday, and so hopefully we can find some improvement of our theory and plan. We also gonna show you guys how to scan for stocks and everything like that, in crypto as well. And so hopefully I could teach you guys some extras. If I could think about some of them, because I've been doing this for years. So I hope I don't talk too much ahead of myself. But whatever I could share, then that would be awesome. And if you have any questions, just don't forget to hit the chat and hit the comment section. Also, you can hit my email. I mean, I have a lot of stuff on my description, guys. You guys could go ahead and shoot the ball and do the best you can to show support. If you're new, guys, this is what we do every week from Monday to Friday. We do stocks talk and we talk about low price stocks, just to be specific. Very cheap stocks. They're very risky. If you don't know what you're doing, then you could lose money. I mean, you could be lucky here and there, but I would recommend you guys to do thorough research and get better at this every day. Take notes and do your back testing and try it yourself. And so in this channel, I don't advise nobody about where to get in and where to get out. I mean, because that's already financial advice. And so I also have on my description, guys, I also have a disclaimer. Read it. It's not too long to read, so you guys can read it really quick and understand where my vision and my goals are and what I'm focused on and what I'm bringing out to the public. So that you guys don't take misjudgments or anything like that, or think that I'm just advising you and then you might do something incorrect that you forgot to read on my disclaimer, and then you might want to like pursue me legally without knowing what I wrote there. And so take everything with a grain of salt. And the purpose here is to help people find stocks, because when I started doing this a long time ago, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was listening to some people that talk about stocks, and some of them are experts and some of them are not. And what I started doing was I was trading blindfolded, kind of without knowing what to do, and I lost a lot of money at first. And so I took the long route. I read books. I subscribed to other influencers on stocks. I mean, I did everything under the sun to try to get better at this, and it took me over 10 plus years to really get it. And so right now you guys are getting gold. And so we focus on low price stocks, just like I said, and I'm gonna teach you guys along the way how I do it. Okay, guys, this is for everybody. It's not for a specific amount of people. This is for everybody. And so all right, I hope you guys enjoy it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and change the screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And so I got the notes and I got everything here. Let's see if you guys can see it. Okay, yes, you guys can see that. Why you guys can't see the... Oh, I have it blocked here. Okay, let me see if it works. There we go. Now you guys can see what I'm seeing. And so let's go ahead and check really quick. Okay. All right, that's working. And okay, let's go in with the notes. So this is what I got every day. If you see on the right side, you have a document, right? Well, you guys see a document on the right side, and this document. Before I start anything, let me go ahead and check the Rumble and everything, see if everything is working, because I don't want to talk and know, without knowing if everything is not is not working properly. So just want to make sure if everything is working. Okay, that is working, and the rest. Let's see the Rumble bot says thanks for the follow, Biggie 10 TV. Appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna mention also. I'm gonna just for the new people showing up. If you didn't know, at the end of the month, guys, I think it's on the 30th or the 31st. I'm gonna run down every single person that followed me for this month, guys. Like everybody, I'm gonna mention everybody, and then most likely I'm gonna go ahead and run like a little um like a little wheel or something. I'm gonna come up with something this week, and it's gonna be interesting because the person that wins, most likely either gonna get cash or there's gonna be some type of giveaway, and that's like my thanks for you guys, for the follow. And so let's go ahead and start off. So everything is working properly, the studio and everything. So all my channels, don't forget to show support as well on my channels, on the description. I mean, I got everything under the sun. The only thing that is not working right now, that I'm having a hard time trying to have work, is the X platform, and I'm also having a hard time with the TikTok, because TikTok is not letting me live stream. I don't know why. I know that after you have like 1,000 followers, you could show your face, but I believe you could still, you're supposed to, you can do live streams without the webcam. And so I'm having technical difficulties with that. So I guess I have to get either more followers, or I have to post something in order to have the privileges. But I'll figure something out with that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and start off, guys, the stream. And let's go ahead and study with the stocks. Hernandez 27, hey, what's up? Hit that follow, like, and repost. Appreciate it. Thank you, Hernandez. Papi va volado, 111 followers. I know, I've been going really fast. So God is helping me. God is on my side right now. Pero sí, voy volado, hecho, me tuve que recortar ahorita porque ya, I didn't want to look like a homeless person. And so it helps me too with my job too, because I'm about to sign up for the HVAC stuff and get that rolling, because I already got my diploma too for that. So at the same time, it's gonna help me, my image and everything look presentable and professional. B Money, thoughts on LDI? Let me see LDI really quick. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing support over here. What's up, Hernandez? He's saying Hernandez. Let me go ahead and check really quick. LDI. So LDI is called Loan Depot. And so the purpose of this channel, usually I don't do fundamental analysis. I don't do I don't check the financials or anything like that. I usually do technical analysis, and I check. I mostly focus on supply and demand. So that's kind of how everything. I look at everything here. Let me see. Now they say, what's up? big money. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's talking to. You got the big guy here. Oof, you got the big guy here. I know. I know. He's good. Yeah, I love his content. I love B Money. And I gotta see more of your content. I do love your stuff. And so LDI right here, just like I said, on I look at technical analysis. So the first thing I would like to see about the stock, since the market is closed right now, I don't focus on percentage change, right? I normally focus on supply and demand. Well, the demand usually is the volume, you know, and so I would love to see more volume than the average. Right now you got 2 million volume versus the average is at 4 million. So right there, that right there is it. It's a little bit of negative for me, from my view. Now the market cap is a little bit too high. I like a little bit anything under 300 million for me. Like, it's more like a micro cap. So that's kind of what I like. It's my personal preference. I'm not saying that the stock is bad. It might have like excellent financials and stuff like that. Shares float. The float is a little bit too high. I like under 10 million. And so that gives me, in terms of supply and demand, if let's say this stock had a 10 million float, and the volume was like 20 million or 30 million volume, then you have more demand than the supply. So what I'm looking for is, in terms of supply and demand, if you have less supply and more demand, then the company has to raise the price in order to meet the demand. And it's once they got the money enough that they gathered, then they could use that either to get more supply, or to invest in other companies, or do other stuff that is the benefit for that company. And so that's kind of how I see it in a little summary that I could give you guys. Hernandez say, I told you about him, about you, haha. You can learn a lot more from him, Bori. Of course, he's very good, very good. I would love to get more in detail about the financials. That fundamental analysis is always good to learn something new. And I mean, I know a little bit about fundamental analysis, but I haven't dived deep into it. I would like to know a little bit more about, like, learning SEC files and everything like that. And so that's a little bit of stuff that I have to learn a little bit. But me, I'm so used to trading more like technical. I check the charts on the daily. I look at the daily and see what is the overall trend of the stock. Like right now, it has overall it's not looking good. It probably looks like a discount. Like the price is showing a discount for investors. But right here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got like 5 negative earnings here, and 3 positive earnings. So right now, this positive earnings could attract buyers, and depending what is the news that they're posting, um that's kind of how you look at everything here. Loan Depot, let me see if it had recent news. All this right here on this software, like sometimes you see these kind of news. Oh, New York Stock Exchange percentage gainers and losers. All this is fluff news, because it has nothing to do with this stock. Okay, it has to. In order for me to check more in detail, I would love to see either Finviz or any other software that you're paying that has some type of news attached to the stock. That's the only way you could verify. And so right here we put LDI. You can see at the bottom, see if there's any recent news. And so in January 10, it said, I don't know if this pertains to the stock. It says morning movers, OKLO, Vistra Lim. So this doesn't pertain to that stock. Lutnimek Home Builders. This other news is just fluff news as well. Offer pad. This one either. I mean, so all this is fluff news. I don't see nothing that is talking about this stock. Only the only thing uh to this stock is this one right here in December 5. Loan Depot, a bull case theory. Now this right here, this type of news is B Money say, yeah, fair. It's a small cap. Forgot you were more micro. Word. Solid analysis. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's kind of what I dedicate myself in, more micro. And so I have also a price area that I'm gonna be talking about later as well. Um, I like more $1 to like no more than 20. But if it was like my like more specific, like $1 to like 10 or 11, but I could still afford way more than that. Like I could still, if the price action is favoring what I'm looking for in terms of pattern and in terms of how to see if usually I like trading like breakouts, and sometimes I trade bounces off the support level. But other than that, um I like anything under $20, anything that that's a little bit more cheaper for me to own a little bit more shares. But they're just like you said in your stream, some of your stream that I heard before, like those type of stocks that I trade, they're very risky. And so if you don't do your due diligence and learn everything, fundamental analysis or technical analysis, whatever works for you to trade, then if you don't do that, then you're in a long haul, because you could lose a lot of money very very fast. And so you have to be careful. You got to know what you're doing. And so this right here usually is an article from Insider Monkey. It's not telling me exactly you know what the company news is about. Now this right here, as you can see, is a quarterly earnings. Now that's kind of the news that I'm looking for. So this company released this type of news. Now you could either go in there and listen to the earnings call, either from the board talking about the vision and the mission of the company and stuff like that. You could either do that. But what about GMEWS? It's a warrant at the microcap size. Haha, curious your thoughts on the volume, etc. Okay. GMEWS. Let me see. Let's see. GMEWS. Oh, because it's a warrant, you said. So it doesn't show up here. It's a what do you call that? It's a special acquisition company, or it could be a special acquisition, because if it's a warrant, then I don't think it's gonna show up here. GMEWS. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show up here. GMEWS. Not even in the Finvis. Yeah, those type of stocks like that. Yeah, I don't. Might also be in a different ticket. Oh, okay. It might be GME WT. Okay, let me see. GME WT or .w as a warrant. Yeah, like when you see the W at the end, it means it's a warrant. It's a warrant, not a SPAC. Okay, cool. Uh, there's many companies here for GME, but I'm not sure. Yeah, usually I focus on the top percent gainers, guys. And I'm gonna show you guys how I filter for the stocks that I'm looking for. Yeah, that ticker, I can't find it. Now if it's the GME that I know, like the GameStop, you see. But you're more talking about a warrant company. I'm not sure if I could find it here. Usually I don't focus on those. But let's go back to the LDI right here on the daily. I mean, the way I would, if I would look for something here, I would want to see the recent high, right? And that will be the confirmation pullback on the long term. Okay, word, disregard. Okay, no problem, no problem. If I could have find it there, I would have analyzed right on, on the technicals. But right here on the LDI, I would want to wait for it to test at least support levels here. Yeah, GameStop warrants October 2026. Okay. Okay, cool. I'll try to look into it whenever the stream is over, because I'm kind of curious about that. But yeah, on the technicals here for this one, right? This is the support level and this is the resistance, right? And so based on this, it's going down. It's already had 2 red days and it's about to break well, it's already broken this other support, short-term support level. So now what we're looking for is a bounce either from this support level or other support levels here that are here hidden. And the only way you can see this, see where the buyers at, the level 3 and the level 4 will show you where the buyers at, having the orders pending. And so based on that, you could either determine where you could enter for a bounce or where you could get out, if you're in the stock. And not to say it is good that GameStop keep closing stores. Yes, and what blockbuster should have done like Netflix? Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're going out of business because you got all this Amazon and you got all their stores that are taking over on the online. People like to buy online. They don't like to go to stores anymore. Ever since the pandemic hit, everybody like to be at home and they order online. It's more faster and stuff like that. Like you don't have to get out of your house to get stuff. So that's what people do nowadays, pretty much. um and then they say, okay, that should bring more capital since it's less money they have to invest. That should bring more capital since it's less money they have to invest. Well, if they're losing money, then if they're liquidating companies, that's not a good deal. That means they're trying to either sustain the capital that they have at hand right now, and they don't want to like invest in production of new stores or anything like that, or distribution. Then they have to they trying to get money from they could either get a loan, from the bank or whatever or invest, reinvest into other companies and get profits through that to try to save the company. But everything depends on what the market is saying. Right now they're I can't see about the I'm not a lot of an expert in the financials, because that's not like what I dedicate myself in. Now if I check dilution tracker, I sometimes use dilution trackers kind of to verify if this company has any type of life. And so right here, let me see if I can find it really quick. Like GME, I'll tell you right now. So GameStop, right? And so they haven't they've been diluting, right, a lot on this period right here. And so, but if you could see the overall results of it, it says the company's cash flow is positive based on the quarterly operating cash flow, which is 100 million. So that's pretty good. Right now they had a October warrant here, and they exercised at $32. And so this is not like my area, but I kind of see here a lot of information here about the stock. I would like to learn more about warrants and and stuff like that. But I could see they still alive. They still running the company. I mean, over here you can see the holders. You can see names, big investors like BlackRock, Vanguard. I mean, these big companies, Invesco, Charles Schwab, they still have ownership of the company. So, you know, they're still believe in the financials of the company, and so it's still alive. So, once you stop seeing these guys sell it, once you start seeing them sell a lot of amount of shares of the stock, that's when you have to be worried, because everybody's trying to either take their profit and move on, or they're trying to get out because they're panicked, either for a loss, or they just, they don't believe in no more in the vision of the company. And so, but that's kind of how I analyze it. I don't want to get too much in detail about these big stocks. Usually I focus on low price stocks, and so let me go ahead and analyze the stocks that I had here marked up. But yeah, B Money, I appreciate you giving me some tickers and stuff like that. I would have loved to find GME, the warrant, but I wasn't able to find it through the charts. But that's kind of like my homework to do after the stream. But usually I focus on low price stocks. As you can see here, let me see if you guys can see it. You see the document right on the top right here where it says for live trading, pre-market and market open. This right here is my criteria, right? This is what I use when I'm waking up early in the morning for pre-market. I focus on percentage change, right? What I like to see is anything over 20%, of change for price change of the stock, right? It's telling me that the stock is hitting everybody's scanners first of all, as one of the top percent gainers, right? And then the next thing I want to see is what is the market cap. Does this stock has the stocks that I want to see is stocks that are at least very low market cap, because they have more opportunity to either double their value in compared to bigger market caps. Okay, because the bigger market caps is very very hard for those billion-dollar companies to double their value in a very short amount of time. Me, I'm very impatient, and so I like to see moves very very fast. And so my preference is low market cap, like micro market cap, because these companies, some of them are 10 million or 8 million total company value, and those could they could double up very fast in terms of minutes, in an hour or a couple hours. I don't have to wait months or years for the company to double its value, and so that's why I focus a little bit more on supply and demand, because the more the demand versus the supply, the price has to go up. It has to go up to attract to compensate for the demand. Now if there's too much supply and there's not hardly demand, then the company has to attract buyers. And in the only way you could attract buyers, if you lower the price. If you lower the price to what, for some type of a discount, then that attracts buyers. People love cheap. And if they could buy a stock that they like, or they see some type of news that interests them, the price is at a discount point price, then they're gonna take advantage of that, and they're gonna go ahead and buy that, as fast as possible. And so that's why you got a mountain of people buying, putting their orders. And pre-market, if they do it early, those orders are pending until the brokers open their brokerage companies, and some of them open early, very really early in pre-market. but most of them, they start opening like at 8 o'clock, Eastern time, and by the time it hits 9:30, then the rest of the those brokerages open at the same time, and that's when, if you see a company at a really cheap price, all those pending orders are gonna hit, and they're gonna get in, and so that's when you see the big moves that I'm gonna show you guys in a couple minutes. Okay, but this is my criteria. So I focus on percentage change above 20%. The market cap has to be under 300 million. That's my preference. The price has to be between 1 or 20. No less than 1, because what happens when you start trading less than 1? I mean, there's a lot of you got these spreads, very very short spreads, and it's a little bit risky. A lot of very very volatile, way more volatile than the stocks that I have, that I look at, and so they're very volatile. Now, if you pick a stock that is above $20, then you have very wide spreads. Okay, and so if you're doing market orders, most likely it's not gonna hit at the price that you're wanting to buy. That's why I do limit orders, because I want it at a certain price, and if it doesn't hit that price, then I can move my price a little bit above uh, the area that is at. But in this case, if you guys have any other questions about my criteria, just shoot the ball, But that's kind of my preference. I also like to see the price at a multi-day, above multiple days, or above multiple months, or even years would be perfect. In like the traders that do day trading, we call it multi-day breakout, or we could call it a multi-week, multi-month, or even multi-year breakout. Okay, and so that's kind of how we mention that. And also, on my criteria, I have the float. The float, just like I said, is the supply of the stock. And the float is usually the public shares that gets released from the company, that is for public, the people could trade it. Now you have other shares that are private. Those are owned from the owner, the CEOs, the board members, or the employees. They own shares, but they're private. They're not for trading. Only what they supply to the market, that's what it's counted as a float. And so, I like to see anything under 10 million. That's very low float. And so that right there, with a high volume, that right there makes a lot of magic, especially if there's some type of news that could attract buyers or sellers. That right there is kind of what the key. I said also, the stock has news. When I see a stock that is moving, I want to see why. And to know why, you got to look at the news. What is the news saying? Is it a earnings news? Is it a contract news? Or is it emerging? Is the company merging with another company? Is it a partnership news? Stuff like that is I'm very interesting. I'm very interested in, because a lot of traders, that's kind of what they look for. Okay, and so that right there, it gives interest into the market, especially the earnings. When the earnings come out, the stock could be running for weeks, for months, depending how healthy the stock is. And so, also the volume has to be over a million. Why I like to see stocks that are volume over a million? Because it's easy, and the volumes are the shares traded. It could be for the time that you're looking at the stock, or for the entirety of the day. In this case, since the market is closed, I want to see over a million for the entirety of the day. Okay, I don't want to see anything under a million, because that's a stock that doesn't have a lot of activity. Okay, and so why I like to look at stocks that are over a million? Because stocks like this, over a million, it's way easy to get in, right? You could buy the stock, and you don't have to worry if if the stock is going against you, you could get out easily, no problem. There's always people trying to buy share. They will buy shares for you at that price, no problem. At 1 million volume, that would be perfect. Now, if you're trading a stock that is 10,000 shares traded or 100,000 shares traded, you might be able to get in the stock, but you might have a hard time trying to get those shares sold. And that right there, that's a bad news. Okay, because the stock could be going against you, especially if you're shorting the stock. That right there, there's unlimited amount of loss that you can have on your account. Okay, and so that right there, I like that. I'm very particular with that. I like to see anything over 1 million. If I don't see anything over 1 million, I'm not paying attention of it. And there will be some days that you see plenty of stocks over 1 million traded pre-market, ready for the market open. But also you see slow, very slow days. You see stocks that barely hit the 1 million volume, for pre-market, and so yeah, I'm very, very particular, very picky on what I'm watching. And so also another criteria is, what is the overall trend of the stock? Is the stock is on an uptrend? Is it healthy? If it's a healthy trend, or is it stagnant? Has it is it seasonal? Does it go a few months and then it goes back down and just consolidates throughout the whole year, and then wait till the next year and it goes up again? Is it seasonal, or is it a downtrend stock? Is it a bad stock, like it doesn't have no life in it, and it just comes up once in a blue moon? And so if people have different preferences, me, I don't put too much worry in on if the stock is healthy or not. All I'm worried about, if the stock has supply and demand. It has a lot of demand, and why? Does it has news? What is the news that it has? Are they getting, is the stock getting a delisting notification from Nasdaq because they're almost at the below the $1 per share level? That's not good news. And I wouldn't invest in stocks like that, because you never know. Maybe they you get in the stock, and in a couple minutes later they decided to liquidate the company, and you you just lost some money there. And so many things can happen. Many things can happen with a company that's already failing. Um, and I wouldn't trust them for the long run. I wouldn't trust them fundamentally. These type of stocks that I'm trading, these are for very, very short term, and if you don't know what you're doing, um, I wouldn't recommend you guys to trade it until you guys are really well trained and know what to do. You have to know key terms, supply and demand, so resistance, supports. You have to know what the candles are, especially if you're doing technical analysis. You have to learn the percentage gains. We have to know, all different type of stuff, volume, flow. What is the market cap of the company? All this stuff. What is the news, the type of news that you have to see. And so eventually, over time, I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there that you guys are like, what the hell he's talking about? But I'm throwing it out there because eventually, over time, if you're very interested in learning stocks, you're eventually going to take all these terms and you're going to do your own research, and you're going to understand later on the video. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. But in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and teach you bits by bits on how I find these stocks, and it's gonna make it clear for you guys. I'm gonna try to make it clear for you guys. But let's go ahead and start. So that's kind of what my criteria. I use this criteria also for the market close. Also another thing, does the company has a history of running? You know, has any history? I don't want to see a stock that is only red all, like, throughout his entire, since it's been open. Since that stock been in the market, it's only red. I don't want to see that. At least I want to see a couple seasons where the stock had ran a couple days, a couple weeks, or maybe a couple months, or one day had a great news of probably a big investor invested in the stock, and the price went from 1 to 100 or 1 to 50 or stuff like that, just for an example. Then that right there shows me, okay, well, this stock has done that before. It could, stocks that has done stuff in the past can repeat, and so stuff like that I like to look at. And so Hernandez say, I should have read a little bit over here. Hernandez say, almost is online now. No employment, no employee payment, building, utilities. Okay, so I didn't understand that part right there. No employee payment, building, utilities. I didn't got that right there. But yeah, this is my criteria, guys. This is for the market close. When the market is closed, most of the stuff that I mentioned on top, that's pretty much what I use. The only thing I don't use is the percentage change. That's the only thing I don't focus on. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna run through these really quick when I do the filtering. But first, I'm gonna run down this document so you guys could know where I'm going with. This is for the crypto. This is what I use to filter the cryptos. And then I'm gonna run through this also when we start doing the crypto filtering. But also guys, what I do also, if let's say you don't find any news, right? Let's say you don't find no news at all on the softwares, or no news is found and the stock is moving. The other thing you could do is go to the X platform or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, right? And then what you do, you put the dollar sign, right? And right next to it, right right beside it, you put the ticker symbol, right, of the stock. And you could press enter right there, right? You could press enter and you get all the information, either recent all the way to oldest, right? Of the and you can find a lot of stuff. People could either be talking about it. Not only people, the company could be posting something very important on X, and if you don't go there and you don't see it, you're probably not gonna see it on the software that you use to trade. And so it's always good to check, in on X. And so if let's say you don't want to keep scrolling all the way down to the dates that you're looking for, you could custom it. You could filter it. And so what you could do is you could put this little this thing right here, this formula, until, and you put the year, the month, and the most recent date, in this case will be the 26th, right, of this year, 2026, one, and then you put here 2020 26, I'm sorry, 26, and then you put a space, and then you put since, and with the colon signs, and then you put the year, this year, if you want to look for, or you want to look for last year, 2025. Then you put the month, whatever. Let's say it's December, you put 12, and then you could put whatever date that you're looking for, and then you press enter, and then you're gonna get only specific, like very specific dates that you were looking for. And you don't have to be scrolling too much. You're gonna see what you wrote here. Okay, and so that's how you find the news on X and Twitter. And so this is the stocks that we have here for today, that we analyzed on Friday, that we had planned on Friday. And so we had said over here, this one we already been checking for 2 days, for 2 trading days. And the last thing we said was close near high day, high today, didn't close strong today. However, if volume shows up, price price continues to be at or near the VWAP, we might see a test of yesterday highs. Okay, so we're gonna look at that right now. Let's go ahead and check that right now. ASTI. And so I hope everybody could hear me clearly. I hope I don't have any issues. If I have to lower down the music, I could do that as well. ASTI. ASTI. I'm gonna check stocks. And as you can see here, Um, let's check the before we check the daily. Let's check the 5 minute chart. I like to check the these are time frames just in case if you don't know. You could check the stock on daily, right? Which the daily will show you the months and the years that the stock has been running. You can see the 4 hour. I mean, you can see anything that your whatever's your preference, whatever the software that you're using can hold, can see, can show you. You know, and so people could trade 15 minute. I trade 5 minute. A lot of day traders, I mean, a great majority of day traders would trade on the 1 minute. You know, now that this is a little bit too zoomed in. I like to see a little bit more clear, and in the candles, I like to see them a little bit more fatter. And so I put the 5 minute. That's kind of this is my personal preference. But in this case, as you can see, today it failed. It failed to hold the VWAP right off of these on Friday, and it didn't test the high day. I mean, this is the back end of the move. This is already the back end. This was the front end of the move. We might see another bounce, probably to tomorrow or the next day, but it might not go that high as this point right here. So it already gave back half of its gains, and you know, I'm no longer interested right now. A volume is 3 million. It's way under the average and way under the float. Not too much, but it's under both, and I don't like to see that. You know, I like to see a volume at least double or triple the amount of the average, or and the share, the float as well. You know, I want to see way more demand than the float, okay, than the supply, in other words. So this is a failure of this one, so I'm gonna take this one off the list. On the daily, well, this one didn't had no news, I guess, or it did had news today. 9 hours ago, Ascent Solar Technologies announces up to 25 million private placement, price at the market, under Nasdaq rules. Yeah, this one, that's not good news, guys. I would love to explain it, but I don't want to like go too much into detail about it. But you guys could do your research on what is a private placement at the market. Um, and I mean, there's plenty of people on YouTube all over the place that would tell you exactly what I'm talking, what they talking about. Um, Now, the most recent one was 8 hours ago. It says, Ascent Solar Technology signed multiple material agreements. So that's a contract news. That's pretty good news. Maybe a lot of people didn't saw this news today. Maybe later on in a couple hours they do their research and they see this and they get a, you know, that could attract buyers to buy this stock tomorrow. But just like I said, I mean, you can have some good news, but if you don't have volume, if you don't have no activity, then that's not gonna be nothing. You know, it's not gonna worth anything. You know, you want to see volume, you want to see activity, okay? Because a good news could go so far. So yeah, so this one is gonna get off the list. Um, would have loved for it to bounce off of those support levels and test a higher day, but if it failed. So that one is off the list, and QCLS is the next one we're gonna check. QCLS. And so let's check this one. So as you can see, compared to Friday, guys, this is not a lot of activity. This is way less than what happened here on Friday. Okay, right? I see here 2 million volume. It has a little bit more than the average, but it's not, you know, it's not as high as it's supposed to be, you know, that I would want it to see. um as well as the float, you know, it's weight is there's less demand than the support than the supply here, way less. And so, you know, I don't that's not good news for the stock. So also, as you can see, I mean, it didn't get back, you know, it's hovering around the support level here that it bounced off on Friday. It bounced off of it, but right now, as you can see, today is hovering over that level. I'm not sure if it's gonna bounce, and there's no volume showing up. And compared to where the VWAP is, it's also extended from the VWAP. So it has a lot of work to do, and I don't see this one doing that. It doesn't have no recent news. Only 3 days ago, it said appoint Chelsea Voss to the board of the directors. That's not as significant as a earnings news, as a contract news, as a new product launch, or anything like that. It's not a changing the board. It could be good for the company, or it could be very very bad for the company. So um yeah, this one is not too relevant, towards the what's happening here. And so this one I won't I'm not gonna put leave it on the list. This was gonna get I'm gonna start from scratch. I'm gonna go ahead and start from scratch. I'm gonna put the date today. Today is the 26th, like I said. This month has been gone like super super quick, guys. Super quick. I appreciate every single one of you guys that came here, that show up, and that is looking at the stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't none of this would ever happen. And so don't forget to hit the like. I only ask for like two likes for the stream. If you like the stream, just hit the 2 likes. I would appreciate it. Also, if you're new, hit the follow as well, guys. That will help me a lot. And so let's go ahead and continue today. So this is what I use. This is for you guys. Usually I use Weeble. That's my main platform that I like to, because it has a built-in scanner, and so that's kind of what I use. But in this case I use Finviz right here because well, first of all, it's free and it's for you guys. So you guys, whoever that cannot afford software, you guys could or let's say you can afford it, but at least but you're learning and you don't want to invest in a software right now because you want to pack all this thing down. Then you could use Finviz and scan the stocks for today and do your analysis, and or do your back testing, stuff like that. So we're gonna go by our criteria, right? So if we're on Finviz, right, and you don't see this screen, the main screen, just hit the home button, or you could hit this title, and it will take you to the main screen. You don't have to see it, but what we would do is hit the screener here, this tab right here. You hit that, and then you can see this list here of stocks, and you can see here the options that you could filter out the stocks, right? Now me, I like to filter out. I like to see everything to have a lot more options, and I'm gonna go through that right now. But let me show you what's going on here. Right now you have 543 pages of worth of stock right here. Well, not worth of stock, like of stocks of ticker symbols. Okay, guys. Me, the reality, I'm not gonna check 543 pages of stocks to only pick one or two of them. You know, I want to like dumb this thing down and squeeze it enough to see at least a good amount of stocks, not 543 pages. And the only way I could do that is through filtering the stock, in this page. Okay. And so what I do is I like to press all here on this tab, and then I have a bunch of options here. Okay, guys, and we're gonna use our criteria, right? So what did we say at first, right? You don't have to use the same order, but you could use whatever order you feel comfortable. Okay. In this case, it says here stock price, right? In this first column right here, you can see price right here. And the good thing about it is that once you click it, it shows you different options here. It's right here. I don't think you guys can see it, but it says here 1 to 20, and so I press that, and it marks it up right there on the screen. I think you can see that, but it doesn't show me. I don't see in the stream because I checked some of my streams, and every time I click some of these buttons here, it doesn't show the list of things that I'm seeing on the screen. And so that's the bad downside of me streaming like this. But if you get on this website, you're gonna understand, you know. And so let's keep on moving. So the next thing that we're gonna check on our criteria, right, is the market cap, right? The market cap is in the same column. It's way up there on the second one, right? And market cap, just in case if you guys missed what I was explaining about the market cap is the total value of the company, okay? And if you want to get more technical, I mean, it says if you hover your mouse to the market cap word, it will tell you the definition and everything. What it's called? It's called market capitalization, and it says here total market value of the company, outstanding shares. Okay, very simple. It's the total value of the company. Okay, what the company's worth. And so me, I like micro. Anything under 300 million is that's my preference. Okay. The next thing on my criteria is the float, right? The float is gonna be somewhere on the last. It's gonna be the last column, right? The last column, it says here under here it says float. Me, just like I said, I like anything under 10 million, and I placed it there. What is the next thing? I see here volume, right? The volume has to be over a million, especially when the market is closed. Um, I pick it here over 1 million, and it's gonna show up there on the screen, right? And also, let me see if you guys can see the. Okay, now you guys can see the document. Um, Also, I check here before I go to news. I want to see. I want to see also the relative volume. Let me go ahead and write this thing down because it's the only thing that we don't have in our criteria here. Relative volume over 5 ratio. And that's my preference. And so it's going to be here in this column, this third column right here. You can hover your mouse to see the definition. It says here relative volume ratio of current volume compared to 3 months of average of volume. And so in other short words, is a ratio, right, that they calculate between the current volume and the average volume over a period of time, right? In this case, it's 3 months, okay? And so me, I like anything over 5 ratio is perfect for me. Okay, guys. And also another thing is the industry. The industry, I like to see only stocks. That's the only thing. I don't like to see any ETFs, any other stuff, you know. Only stocks. That's all I want to see. And also the performance has to be today up, which I want to see only stocks that are moving. Okay. And as you can see, right, you can see here we have only one page. We don't have 540 something pages, right? Now we can see clearly how many we got here that we could analyze, right? It shows 10. Now one thing that I don't like is watching all these things. I care less about the company name. I care less about the sector. Sometimes some of the people depends on, you know, some other day traders, they like to see hot sectors. They like to see stocks that are only like they have a hot sector for the month, or depend on the season. They look at the sector, but in this case, I don't focus on that. That's not my what do you call that, my niche. And so I take it off there. The industry, I care less what industry it is or what country it comes from. um I'm gonna also take this one out, but it's very important to know the market cap when you're filtering. That's the only time it's important. Other than that, I take it also off, and I also take off the percentage change because the market is closed and you can't determine anything when the percentage change is not moving, it's not fluctuating. Okay, there's no decisions you can make about it, you know. And so let's to in order to take this off, right, what you do is you press custom, right? You press that right there, and it shows you these little tabs that you could take off, right? And so right here, I like to take the numbers off. These numbers, they're not doing anything for me, so I take them off. The company, the sector, the industry, the country, the market cap, the P ratio. And so right here, you can see a little bit more clear, you see? And I also like to take the percentage change, right? And now we can see this more clear, right? Now, the only things I will add is the relative volume, right? I would love to see the relative volume, and I also like to see the float, the shares float. And I can see it here where you guys, where I'm marking my mouse. And now we have five columns right here. And like every stream that I've done the same thing. And it might seem like, like I'm repeating myself, but it's the only way that you guys could like get like it might sound rude what I'm about to say, but it's not. I'm not going with that intention. It's like it's to get the everything that I'm showing you through your thick skull, so that you guys could remember. Okay, so that you when if you guys are interested and you guys can remember what I'm showing you guys, it's already instant, to you. It becomes instant, instincts. That's what I'm about to say. Instincts. Because when you're, let's say you remember everything, right? Like I do, right? Now you don't depend on what I'm doing here. Now you could go into a software, right? You could scan stocks, and after you scan stocks, you already know what you're writing down as a watch list. Now you know what you have to pick, all your plan, your exits, your entries. You could manage your risk and all that stuff. Like you already know all that. And so you could do that on the go. It will only take you 5 to 10 minutes to really pack everything down onto a watch list, and everything is neat. But if you don't if you only s- if I on- look if I only did, guys, one stream with all this information, you will only see this video and the rest of the streams that I do. Once you start seeing the other streams that I do, this right here, the first stream that I posted, you will forget. Over time, you will forget. And you won't see those videos. So I'd rather do everything the same, so that you could remember and you could say, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's saying. At the beginning, I didn't know what was volume. I didn't know what was float. I didn't know what was relative volume or news or nothing like that. And now that he's been repeating it all the time, and I've been doing my research, now I understand what he's saying. Okay, that's why I repeat myself. Okay, eventually I'm gonna make as I continue to go on my journey on streaming. Eventually I'm gonna do some changes, and I'm gonna teach some other ways and teach you guys a little bit more advanced stuff. But for the meantime, I'm showing you guys how to find it, how to find these type of stocks. And so these stocks are cheap. They're very cheap. You can get 100 shares, 1,000 shares, 10,000 shares, whatever your preference is. At the end of the day, you have to know your number. You have to know what how you want to use the money once you get it. Am I trying to get money short term for a vacation? Let's say you're trying to get $10,000 for a vacation. Then you gotta make your you gotta do your numbers and say, okay, how much do I have to trade to get to that point? And so based on that, then you break it down on how much you should risk. What is your profit goal, and what is the ratio that you have to have and make on every trade in order to get to that point, at either at the end of the couple months or at the end of the year, to get to the goal that you want to get to in order to get that your goal accomplished. And so I know I'm throwing to you guys so much, and right now you're just probably hearing gibberish right now. But eventually, if you're very interested in learning about stocks, in the future, right? It could be weeks or it could be months. You will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, and you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, now I understand what Jonathan is saying." Okay, and by the way, I know. My name is called on the user is say Boricua Pati 24. Um, you know, that's kind of what they used to call me back in the day when I used to do like Call of Duty and everything. And I went, I was trying to change it here and there, but you know, I couldn't. You know, they didn't want me to change it. So people started calling me Bori and everything. But my real name is Jonathan, just in case if you guys don't know. In some of my platforms, you will see my actual name. So just so you guys know as well. But I know I got a little bit off track, but we're gonna go back into the stocks. So right here, as you can see, guys, all this is at the end of the day is for your benefit, you know, because I wish I could have somebody I could have had back in the day when I started trading. I wish I could have somebody that could really break it down like this for me, because it would have taken me less than 10 plus years to learn everything that I know. Okay, I ain't had to go ahead and read a couple hundred books or whatever. You know, I I ain't had to like trade 20,000 times to really get it. You know, I ain't had to like look at a 10, 20,000 videos and subscribe to like 3 or 4 people to in order to get it, you know, over a period of time. If somebody would have break it down for me like this and show me the real deal, then you know, I would have made it would have saved me money first of all, and it would have made my life way more easy, in terms of, you know, managing my money and everything, and not taking huge amount of risk, and sometimes getting frustrated, sometimes getting disappointed and stuff like that. So here you got it, guys. I hope you guys love what I'm showing you guys, and I will continue to do this for you guys until, you know, until my life takes me to another journey, you know. But you know, who knows, maybe in the future, you know, if I get a huge following, maybe we could do like events or meetups, where I could like show uh you know, some a crowd of people, you know, what I'm doing, you know, all this stuff, you know, and other tips and other advanced stuff, you know, maybe in the future I could do that, you know. But for now, I'm just starting off, you know, showing you guys this. And um Resnum, appreciate it for coming by. Resnum say silver watch has been crazy today. Silver, like let's see, like in term, what are you talking about, crypto? You're talking about stocks? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's healthy. It's very healthy overall. Today had a great move, a great run. That right there is a breakout, a new high, all time high. I mean, perfect. I mean, any of those people who have done any the price of silver today, yep. Right now it's a little discount right now. It's hovering over the previous highs right here. At this point, that's the resistance level that it broke before it made that move yesterday's. Um, all this is resistance right here, and right now it's about to hit that point. So I mean, some people could, you know, if it bounces off of that convincingly, then that would be a nice discount, you know. But you know, I can't tell you guys where to buy, where to sell. The decision is totally on your side. You know, like you guys, you know, have to make your decision. But you know, that's a great move, Resnum. Really good call. That's a really good move, guy. Really good. I mean, I could have caught it at the breakout and ride that thing, you know, overnight since Friday, and got and you know, people started taking profits at pre-market, well, not pre-market, market open, all the way to the market close. That's incredible. Good job. Thank you, Resnum. Appreciate it. And as you can see here, guys, look at this volume, guys. Very high. Very easy to get out, get in. Um, and so incredible. I like this. And so let's go ahead and go back to the stocks, right? I don't know what I was talking about, but we'll start off with the screener. So this is kind of what I use. This is all the screen. Let me go back to the filter. And so I use microcap, price, relative volume, current volume, right? Performance. I use the industry and the float. That's kind of my criteria, all in a nutshell, right? And I already took all the noise here of the names and everything. I took them off through the custom. And so now the next thing I want to do is I want to sort. I want to sort through volume, guys. Okay, I want to sort through volume. And so I like to do from high to low, right? From the highest volume to low. And as you can see here, there's at least one, two, three, four, five, at least five of them that looks pretty interesting in volume. 8 million is a little bit too lower compared to the max support that I'm looking for. Okay, it's right now 8 million is a little is that's there's a little bit more demand than the supply here, which is 1 million. Now, if you can see here on these two right here, DTCX and the EVS, look at this. It has 1 million volume, but look at the float, 9 million. That's way higher than the demand. So that right there automatically disqualifies the stock. Okay. Same thing with DEVS. It has 1 million volume, which is the demand, and look at the float, 2 million, a little bit above the demand, the volume, and so that right there disqualifies these two. And this one has 1 million volume, and it's a little bit above the float, but it's too low. 1 million. I always ask for 1 million volume, but I like to trade anything higher than that, at least double or triple, the amount. Okay, and so I like to start from the highest volume all the way to at least double digits or something like that. And so MBAI is the first one of the day, guys. Let's check this one, MBAI. MBAI. And look at this, guys. Look at the opportunity there. Look, this thing was, it's overall, the overall trend of this stock might be terrible, the financials might be crazy, but the thing is picking the meat of the move. Okay, taking advantage of the news and taking advantage of supply and demand, and that's all you need to look for these low price stocks. This thing went to 134% on this move right here. Most likely you're not gonna catch the whole entire move, but you only need just a little bit every day, just a little bit. And if you're disciplined over weeks, months, or a year, that right there could take you very far in terms of having money for vacation or having money as a career, for your retirement or whatever you want to use the money for traveling or whatever, you know but let me teach you my strategy, what I like doing with these stocks. And so this one right here closed pretty strong. I believe there could be another continuation move, because right now it's hovering around the VWAP, so it could have a possibility to go up. And so right here, as you can see right here, they didn't have much activity, but it started having activity right after the open, almost midday, right? I like to look at confirmation pullbacks. Other people, they don't call it confirmation pullback. I call it confirmation pullback, because based on my way of trading, I like to look at multiple red days to count it as a confirm, like a complete pullback. I don't like to look at one red candle on a pullback and then it goes back up, you know, um, That right there is not a like a actual, like this one right here. You see, this is not like a this is not a pullback. An actual pullback is, look at this. This is a pullback right here. You have multiple red candles right here. That's a pullback. That's considered a definitive pullback. This right here too, you see this drop right here, this is a pullback. You have to do two red candles. This is another pullback. You know, two big candles, and it looks, you know, it kind of look like a triangle. You could, sometimes you can see it clearly, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see right here, you can't see too clearly if it's a pullback. um you know, right now this is a really short-term pullback, but the actual pullback of the move is this move right here, you know. But me, I like to call it confirmed pullback because it has two or three candles or more together, and they you could see at least a triangle here on a reverse a V oh my god, like it looked like a V shape, you know. Let me see if I can mark this thing down really quick. See, like a V shape, something like that. V shape. So you can see like a V shape. It doesn't look too clearly, but it is a pullback. Really, this is a little bit smaller, but it still counts as a pullback. Okay, let me take this off really quick. Uh, take this one off. Take this one off, and so once I see a confirmation pullback, guys, I like to look at what's around it. Which candle is the highest around it, right? And so right here, as you can see, is this green candle. What's the next step, guys? I like, since I love breakouts, I like to wait for a confirmation breakout. A confirmation breakout is when a candle closes above the breakout line. Okay, it closes, the candle closes above it. So it broke out, and it ended up closing above that resistance line, which became support. This line of resistance became support once it got broken. Red Sixer fan AI music, yeah. Appreciate it for coming and showing support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Uh, Anybody watching, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I only ask for like 2 likes only. That's the minimum. That's the I put the bar very low for you guys. And so right here, just like I said, once it break out, this resistance line becomes support. Okay, so some people, some traders wait for a pullback and a bounce off this resistance level. In this case, it did not bounce. It didn't have a confirmation bounce off of this. You can see here, this candle, it did shadow two candles, but it didn't bounce convincingly. It didn't have a green candle above this other green candle, you know. It didn't close it didn't open really well, you know. And that right there, as you can see, I mean, it went lower, and it started bouncing off the once it got broken, this, it turned into, instead of becoming a support, it turns back to as a resistance. Once a support level gets broken, it becomes resistance, guys. That's why you can see here the bounces, and it tests like a couple, like 3 times here. One, 2, 3, 4. In smaller time frames, guys, it bounces way more times than that. But in the 5-minute chart, in the 5-minute time frame, you can see, you know, only 4 times. Red Sixer fan AI music say, yep, I'll have you up while I am doing some things here. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. And so as you can see here, you know, this right here had a good bounce after it broke the resistance, but it was not a confirmed bounce right here. At this point, it failed, you know. And but it did have some type of bounce, you know. If you would have seen the level 3, guys, where the buyers were stacked up, you could have know exactly where you should have got in and wait, ride the wave all the way to whatever point that you feel comfortable. In this case, if I would have looked at the level 3 and I would have gotten off the bounce somewhere around here, I would have taken profit at least midpoint, because that's where everybody starts selling and taking profit. Because if you wait for it to test a high date, sometimes it never hits that point. Like over here, you see, it never hit the point and it turned around back on you. This is all panic selling. You see this big candle right here on the sell? This is a panic. This is everybody. Sorry. The market is closing and everybody's panicking because they looking at this thing didn't break out convincingly. So they panic sell right here at the close. So, that was unfortunate, but you could have took here. You could have got in here at this breakout. Let's check how much this thing has. 11%, guys, on that move. You got the confirmation breakout and you get in on the next candle. This is my strategy, guys. And this thing didn't only went well on one candle. It did 11%, guys. Sometimes big companies, huge companies, it takes a year, an entire year to make 11%, and sometimes they don't even make 11%. They make 2%, 5%, or even 7%. They don't even get to this point. This thing did it in one candle, guys. In one candle, it went all the way up to 25% on this little move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 in 35 minutes, guys. In 35 minutes, well, it says over here 30 minutes, you see. In 30 minutes, it went 25%, guys. There's no other company that you could find. Well, there's plenty companies like this, but in the low, like the micro cap area. Some of them bounce off 25%, like from mid cap sometimes, rarely. Also like SPAC companies also, they also have good bounces, you know but most of the time you're gonna see, like, on a consistently basis, guys, you're gonna see these low price stocks go up like this in this small amount of time. Now, another thing, right? This is how I would have gotten in this stock, right? But we haven't analyzed the stock entirely, right? What we would have done if we would have find it at this point, what would be the first thing that we would have found? Now, we're not going to talk about the percentage change, because when the market is open, if it show up on our scanners, that means that was the first thing we were looking for. Anything above 20%. This thing was way above 20% when it show up on the scanner. Look, it was 50, it was at 60, 70%. So if it would have hit somebody's scanner, trust me, people were already watching this thing at this point. Over 60%, 70%, right? Me, it would have hit my scanners. I would have waited for a pullback, a confirmation pullback, which was this one right here. And I would have got in at that point that I marked. It took like half an hour to wait, but it did happen. And why I would want to wait, because look at the next thing I would check is the volume. Right now also the price is good. It's a good price. It's not too low and it's not too high. It's a perfect price here. Is at $2. If I would look at the scanner over here, around $2, almost $3, guys. The next thing here would have been the volume, the demand, guys. The demand, look at the demand. 142 million shares traded, guys, throughout the entirety of the day. Right here, it would have, around this area, it could have been probably right here. You can see 33,000, a little bit over a million, probably like 2 million shares traded at this point. When it hit this point, that's way more than the average. That would have been way more than the average. And the float, it had 5 million shares trade of float. I'm sorry, a free float to trade. So this right here would have been good. good trading point. And we're not even counting the pre-market. The pre-market would have added to the what we saw here on this move. It would have been way more than 5 million or 4 million or something like that. It would have been more than that. So it would have qualified to trade. The next thing we would have checked is why this thing is jumping like this. Why is up for the day? Is to check the news, right? It says here, check cap clears key NASDAQ requirements. Now, let's see more specific why this thing is going up. Maybe here on the Finviz, it will explain a little bit more. Right now, it's not showing December. It's only showing December 1. The recent news about it. Embody AI to begin trading under the new NASDAQ ticker symbol MB. Okay, so they got acquired. So they changed the new. They got a ticker symbol. They changed their ticker symbol. So it used to be called Check, I think. That's what it used to be called, and now it's called MBAI. It's not, it's nothing like out of the subject. It's not something that we should be hyped up about, but probably in the X platform, you could have seen some news going on there. But it doesn't show me like no recent news here. Only on the platform, it doesn't give me like a specific this right here. Check clear cap key NASDAQ requirement. That's not saying anything about MBAI. Okay, so it doesn't have a recent news. It probably this thing you could find it on the X platform. You could find some extra news about it. I cannot like pull up the X platform because one thing, I'm not yet confirmed on whether I could show the X platform, because for some of you guys that have the X platform, you guys have seen a lot of crazy stuff going on, right? And so I don't want to go ahead and pull up the X platform, and then you guys are seeing some crazy stuff while I'm scrolling on the stock. You know what I mean. I mean, we're all adults here, so yeah, I don't want to show anything that would affect my channel or anything like that, or on YouTube or whatever. There's so many regulations, but you could do your research on this one. This thing probably was hyped up, on the X platform, and this thing did some type of, or it could have been the company that posted something on the X platform as well, but we don't see it on both softwares. I could have probably seen it on the Weeble, maybe. I'm gonna open up the Weeble. I can't show you guys my Weeble thing because it shows the account, my account and stuff like that, the numbers, and I don't want to lose my personal information like that based on that. So let's see if I could find if there was some type of news here or something. Bear with me for a second, guys. MBAI. So okay, so we have a plenty of news here. That's why it's very important to have softwares that you can have some type of news. It says here, check cap, which is the name of the company that we see here, has regained compliance with NASDAQ. Okay, after the AI merger that they had. So they had a merger, right, with another company. That's why they changed their ticker symbol, and they regained compliance with the NASDAQ. So that's it could be some good news, right now, because they're not getting delisted from the market, right? So that's good news. And but it's very important to have some type of software, because sometimes you won't find news here on Finviz, or even TradingView or something like that. Sometimes you have to pay for news feed as well, but Weeble has everything built in that you could see like right there live. And so that's the good thing about Weeble. I'm not promoting Weeble because I'm not getting paid for it or anything like that, but it's highly recommended that you guys should do your due diligence to check it. But yeah, it did have some news. So now we know it had news, and uh it closed strong. So now we could write it on the watch list, right? And so that's what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and put it on the watch list, MBAI. And the way I do my criteria, my watch list, I pick it off the criteria. I check the criteria. What was the price? Had the price is two at this point is 329. Good price. So good price. What was the volume? The volume was 142 million as it closed for that in the total day that it traded. Good volume. So I put here good volume, right? What was the float? 5 million. Low float. I put here low float. I mean, you don't have to write exactly how I write it, but for me, it's very simple. I don't do much, I don't write a paragraph for something that I saw. So I write very low float. Next thing I wanna do is check the news. We already did, right? It had and we it did had news, and I'm not gonna put specific. I just care that it did had news. Okay, I don't put specifics. Sometimes I do, just to remember the stock, but most of the time I don't, it's irrelevant. As long as it does have some news, um, it becomes irrelevant. It becomes relevant when it's like earnings news, or contract news, or merger news, like it had right here. Um, we could put that too. Merger news. We'll put the news just to have it is here, but I usually don't write it. I just put it did have news. Because based on that is when the you know if if there's the volume, if there's supply and demand, and it has news, some type of catalyst, trust me, it's gonna bounce, it's gonna go up, because it's a very low float too. So has merger and regain compliance with Nasdaq. Okay, so that's that right there. I mean, I ain't had to write that, but now you got it there. And so next thing I want to check will be the daily chart, right? So look at this. It started off in November. This thing IPO'd in November. Right now, this candle, it's an all-time high, right? I call it an all-time high. You could call it right now it will be marked as a multi-month breakout as well, but it's also an all-time high, right? And that's the highest point, and we already marked the resistance level. Okay, and it's a first green day. After the 2 red days, it closed as a green day, so this is a first green day. I like to trade first green days. I like to trade two second green days, and I will squeeze if the stock is really good. I will stop. I will squeeze a third day, but I won't go further than that because it does has to pull back eventually, because it might be over traded, overextended, and that right there you could get caught on a pullback, on a really aggressive pullback. Okay, and so that right there, it does not have history of running, so we can't put does not has history of running, as it's a recent IPO. First green day. A plan would be for it to, and then we check the 5 minute for a plan, right? What will be the plan right now? Right now it's hovering over the VWAP. See, hope you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, yeah. And so right now it's plan is for it to test high of day. What I mean by high, excuse me, what I mean by high of day. High of day is the highest point of the day, of the entire trading day. Okay, it's right up here around almost 4. Okay, Let me put more specific here because I can see a little strip of the green candle here. Let me mark it correctly. There we go. 395. Just to be more technical. Okay, and this high we gotta mark it too because it was a recent resistance. So that right there, those two areas are resistance levels very close to each other. So right now it had a bounce off the support level, and right now it's not looking down, so it needs to go up and test either this point of resistance all the way up to the 392. See, this is another resistance area here, but I'm not gonna mark it. These are the most important ones to test, and so it needs to test these highs and see if it breaks out. If it doesn't break out, it's gonna come down again. This is I'm gonna write down a very short-term trend line, but I like to write down like 2 days of trend line as long as it has 2 points of contact. Like this one, let's see, it has 1 point of contact. This is the second point of contact, and so if it's gonna turn around, it has to test this uptrend support, and if it bounces off of it, most likely it's gonna test the higher day. But in this case, it's looking up, so it has to test these higher days. So, it doesn't have to. I mean, the trend line could do whatever it wants. It depends on where the supply and demand is at a certain point of time. But my theory is for it to go up and test a higher day. And if I would be trading it, I would have a alert somewhere around the 380s, right? And so once it hit this point, I'm laser focused looking at this stock and waiting for the breakout confirmation. And if it doesn't do if it does a overextended confirmation breakout, then I would wait for a pullback bounce off of it and try to see if I could buy it off the bounce of this resistance level, which once it gets broken, it will become a support level. Okay, so that's kind of my summary of it, and I already wrote it down on my list. Plan would be for it to test high day and possible breakout. At 395 is the highest point, so that's what we're gonna write, 395. And so that's how I write all my stocks. I don't go too crazy on it. And let's go on to the next one. Let's take this off, and GXAI is the next one. It had a red day today, but we're still gonna analyze it. GXAI. And so some people might say, okay, well, you see it, you're analyzing it now as it went up, right? As it did that move. But how did you found it? How did you find it? Right? And so just going back at the screener that I show you guys, if you're waking up on pre-market and you're trying to trade, guys, let's say you don't have Finviz, or let's say you have another software that you've been trading, right, with, what you want to do is you want to go to the top percent gainers of today, right, either pre-market or market open, right, and you want to focus on stocks that are over 20%, right? If you're trying to trade stocks that I'm looking at, the stocks that I'm looking at, that's the criteria that I use for. That's the criteria that I use. I use stocks that are going up 20 on the percentage gain, on the top percent gainers list. Any stock that is over 20%, that's what I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna start at the ones that are the highest percentage. If there's one that is already 100%, that's the first one I'm gonna watch. Next thing I want to check, what is the supply and demand? Okay, what's the demand, which is the volume? Is the volume higher than the average, right? Is it doubling or tripling the average, right? Next thing to do is check the float. Is it a low float? Is it below the 10 million point? If it is, then that's good news. And if the volume is higher than the float, then that's really good demand. And then the next thing I want to check, right, is why this stock is going up. Does it has news? Has news showed up, right? Is it showing a contract news or other stuff that I mentioned before on the stream, right? And then the next thing after that, I check the 5 minute or the daily and see if this thing had history of running. What's the uptrend? What's the trend of the stock, right? Overall, and based on that, if I find interest in the stock, I write it down on my watch list, and that's how I find these big movers. You might not even see this whole move at first. You might see only, let's say you might see something like this, right? All green, 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 right? After the pre-market. And you just, when you see this, a lot of new traders, they go ahead and they just buy because they don't want to miss out on the move. This thing is going up, right? So they calculate in their head, and they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna go higher. Oh my god, up to the what do you call that? How they say in Reddit, to the moon or something like that, right? And so right when they buy, this is what happens. You see that pullback right here. At this point, you saw another a move, a great move. But this is what happens: a pullback. Right when they bought here, you had another pullback. Right here, you have people panicking and saying, "Oh shit, it's going against me," and they took a loss there. Some of the people that bought it up here, they took a loss there, right? But if that happens, if you don't have a strategy, right? Me, I would have waited for a pullback, right? I would have waited for. Let me put this more clear. I would have waited for a pullback and a breakout off of this pullback. Let me mark the line here. See, that's the confirmation pullback right there that I was talking about. See, you see a little triangle here. It looks like a little triangle or L. It's not perfect, but you can see it here. On this top side, you can see clearly as well, like a triangle. And then you mark the high right here. This is the highest point between all this right here. See? And then I want to wait for a confirmation breakout. What is the confirmation breakout? Right here, right? And I will get in on the next candle right here. But you have to be fast with it. You can't be slow. And this thing went all the way to 13%, another 13%. I wouldn't get the whole move, guys. All I want is 5% up to 10%. If I get 5%, I'm fine. I'm winning. Okay? And if I could get that every day, 5 to 10%, if I could do 2 trades per day at 5%, that's 10% per day, right? Calculate that over a week, over the 4 month, or over the 4 weeks, which is a month, over 12 months. Then add all that percentage and let me know how much all that adds up to. And put whatever number you like. $1,000 per day that you got out of the trade, $500 out of every day out of the trade. Add that up at the end of the year once you do your calculation and see how much you got out of it. All that is compounding, okay? And that's that's the type of money you could be making, guys. At first you're gonna make small amounts, but all that is gonna compound over time, you know. And so right here, as you can see, we marked this. It didn't bounce off the support convincingly. It kind of did the same move as the other stock that we watched, guys. It bounced off these resistance levels. Once it got broken, once this support level got broken, it became resistance, and it bounced off these resistance levels. See? And it never looked back up, guys. It just continued to go down. And right now this stock is not in play. It failed. It gave back all of its gains, and not it's no longer in play. Now it had great volume. 113 million volume compared to the average, and compared to the float, it's a lot way more demand. You know, and so this move was perfect breakout move. You know, You would have got good profit. Some people that saw this move on the after hours, they would have marked a resistance line right here at this high. And guess what? They would have capitalized on this breakout confirmation right here. They had another profit right here. Look, 19% this move right here. Perfect move. Now it was a little bit extended, but not too much. You could have got on the next candle, and that right there could have been another good profit right there. So I mean, you could get it on the breakout. You could have got it on the breakout. Not on the bounce. Only over here on this level, but you would have got a little small profit there. But this is already too risky compared to whether VWAP is. This is already too risky. And so that was the move right there, guys. Very hard right now for it to test these upper levels unless there's volume and more news. Right now, the recent news that it has was 3 days ago. It shows here on this software. It says signs at the market offering agreement. Yeah, once a company does an offering, they're desperate for money. So that's not good news. Let me see if there's some more news over here on Finviz. If not, I'll check on the Weibo app and see. December 9 was the last one on this web. Gaxes enter a multi-billion-dollar digital faith market, and with launch with Bible Pray AI. Wow, that's good news. Multi-million-dollar digital faith market. That doesn't mean they got the multi-billion dollars. It says they got in that market, which is like a Christian thing for AI. And so that's pretty good news. I don't know if it shows anything else. Let me check the Weibo. No, it doesn't show anything. It's more fluff news. So the recent one was 3 days ago. It had a 3 million at the market stock offering. Yeah, that right there is not good news for the stock. When a stock does an offering, they're very desperate for money. And so that move right there, that was pretty much their out game. You know, they took their profit right up there at 265, and that was it. You know, that money, they're gonna use that either to make more supply, invest in the company, or try to either buy another company or something. I mean, whatever works for the whatever strategy they have at the end of the day. We don't know. We cannot tell what they're gonna do now with that money. But that's what happened, and that was the move right there. What the hell I just do? Okay, I hope you guys see what okay, now you guys can see. I was panicking for a minute. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming around. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Yes, if you see me now all cleaned up, yes, I had to clean myself up. I want to look like a homeless person anymore. So yes, I cleaned myself. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue. We have a little bit more to go for the stocks. We got 1, 2, 3 more to go, guys. Almost done. So GXAI is gonna get removed from. Well, it's not gonna get on the list. It doesn't qualify. Let's check NAMM. It did show up on the list again, guys. Let's see what it did today. NAMM. Is it the right one? Let me see. Where I have it. NAMM. Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So look at this. The previous day we had taken it off the list because it gave back half of its gains, but guess what? It had a great bounce, guys. It had an excellent bounce on Friday off of this support level that we mark here, guys. You know, it was incredible. I would have wished to take advantage of it. I mean, I I didn't got interested. I lost interest once it gave back half of those gains right there. I think we did talk about this support level. I'm not sure. Would love to check the video that we did this on Friday and see. This right here is a confirmation pullback, a really clear one. And right here on pre-market, you could have put a resistance line here. And right here had a perfect breakout, confirmation breakout, guys. A confirmation breakout. You could have got in here all the way to this top line. It went up to 8% on this point. I would have got 5% out of it. That was good. It went all the way up to, on that little move right there, even though it had some pullbacks, it went up to as high as 22%, guys. So pretty good move. After that move after the market open, it just pulled back again to the lows, giving back half of its gains of today, a little bit more than half of its gains. And right now it's testing this support line that became a resistance once it got broken. Okay, so this right now is a resistance level and it's struggling right now. And compared to where the VWAP is, it doesn't seem like it is gonna continue. Let's see right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. So just like I said, I like to mark, if I'm gonna mark uptrending support levels, I want to see 2 points of contact between 2 days. Okay, so what I do is I go ahead and I take the previous, the day before the previous day, and I take the low, right, versus the low of the previous day, right, which is this low right here, somewhere around here, right, and I make that whole line right there, and so this is my uptrending support level. And so if it bounces off this uptrending support level, it's gonna test these highs again. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens once it gets bounced. But if it breaks these levels, it is gonna turn around and drop and test these support levels. So we'll have this on watch. I mean, look at this move, guys. Over 1, 2, 3, 4 days, guys. Over 4 days. Look at the power of this move, guys. Over 4 days. I'm not even gonna count this high. I'm gonna count up to today's high. 461%, guys. Come on, man. Like, you're not gonna be able to see no huge stocks do this, guys, in this small amount of time. You will never see that happen. Only with the stocks that I'm showing you is the only way you'll be able to see this. But you have to be smart trading. You can't just go into any stock thinking that those stocks that you're watching is gonna make the same move. You gotta know what you're analyzing. It would have been great to catch the whole move, but you wouldn't. I mean, some people did grab this move on luck. But it's rare. It's rare that you grab the whole move. Now you can nitpick these moves right here, this breakout. You could nitpick another breakout here. You could have nitpicked this breakout here, another breakout here as well. Well, this one had a pretty decent, pretty okay breakout, but then it gave back everything. But this one had another breakout, so you could have got like 3 wins, right? 3 wins here, very nice, comfortable. I mean, that's what the game is. If you know supply and demand with these low price stocks, you shouldn't have no issues, guys, trading. Okay? But you gotta do your due diligence. Nothing's gonna the market is not gonna give you what you want. You gotta go ahead and take it. Okay? And the only way you could take it is being smart, know how to manage your risk, and know where you want to take your be smart with your profit goals. Don't try to be don't try to be too smart in the, like, not, that's not the word, like ego. I don't know if it's ego. No, it's not ego. Oh my god, there's a word for that. But don't try to like be like, if you're never gonna win against the market. like, yeah, you could win small profits, but like the market is kind of like going to the casino, guys. The house is always gonna win, guys. At the end of the day, the house is it will always win. You just gotta nitpick small profits, guys. That's all you gotta do. If you consistently do that and you manage your losses, you take your losses very small, then you could have a lot of success on the upside, guys. You could flip your money very fast, in a short amount of time. But you have to know these things, guys. If you don't know these things, you're gonna have problems. And so let's go ahead and continue. Also NAM, I'm gonna put it on the list, but I'm just gonna put I'm not gonna put too much information. NAMM has been analyzed before only to analyze. Okay. Looking for a bounce off uptrending. Let me see this clearly. Yeah, uptrending support. Uptrending support to test high of day at. And the uptrending support is around 43 area, $4.33 area per share. Around 433 to test high day at 567. 567. Oh my god, just wrote it bad. And so that's pretty much what I'm gonna say about this. I'm not gonna put the volume. The volume is great right now at 66 million, way above the average, and way above the flow. The flow is a very low flow, is at 4 million. That's perfect. Did it have extra news today? No, it didn't. Let's see on the FinViz. Nope. Operational updates. That's what they doing. Operational updates. So that they had a couple meetings. Let's check on Weibo. Let's check on Weibo really quick. NAM. So no, it didn't have no recent news. Only those that I mentioned before. So they've been having these meetings trying to hype the stock. So that was my plan for that one. Let's go ahead and check another one really quick. So I have two more left and I'm done with the stocks. SLGB is the next one. SLGB. And so this stock right here, let me fix this really quick. It had a recent move, guys. This is the back end of the move. Just like I said before, once it has a run like this on one day, the pullback, if it has a big pullback like this and after it does have a bounce, this is already the back end of it. It's very hard for it to turn around and try to test these highs of days. It has to be something significant in order to change, to make a change of trend, like a turnaround. Okay, and so that will be the high day that it needs to test. Right now it's way far from it. Today I'm not sure if it did have some no, it didn't have opportunities for a breakout. We did mark some lines here, but it didn't do much. It did react a little bit, but not much. And right now is extended versus the VWAP. Yeah, this didn't had the moves that I was looking for, and plus it's the back end of the move. I don't like trading stocks like this before. Uh, but it did have some decent volume, way above the average and the flow as well. It had a very low float, 99,000, 999,000 shares. Did it have recent news? Let's see. No, no recent. Well, wait a minute. It says January 21. Nanocap smart logistics stock spikes as trading volume source. That's fluff news, guys. That's not nothing specific. We want to see something specific. Um, but it says the other news that it said here, January 6th, establishes Smart Logistics Global Limited establishes Northern Supply Chain Center in China, somewhere in China. So, they're expanding a little bit, but that's not nothing that would, make a big significant move or something. So it did had one here the day that it had that news. And you would have capitalized there. That's what I was saying. With these strategies, and you could have capitalized on the bounce too. But it already happened. It already happened. This you missed this if you didn't took advantage of this. Right now this is the back end of the move, and so let's go ahead and go to the next stock because this one doesn't qualify. It failed to hold for the next day. And the last one is DRMA. I've traded this one way years ago. DRMA had pretty good moves before in the past. But today, not great today. It did had a confirmation pullback. I mean, you would have put, if it would have show up on the scanners with some good volume, then I would have put a resistance line here. And this right here would have, right now it's too, you see that is too much of an extended confirmation breakout. I wouldn't get on this trade, honestly. But some people capitalize this breakout and the bounce, a little bit of the bounce, not too much. But this is not my type of trading here. And it failed to remain above the VWAP line too, so it's not showing any type of continuation move. So yeah, this one is not going to be on the list as well. And we're done with the stocks, guys. That was the last one. So let's go ahead and go to the crypto. Finally, we on the crypto. So we use CoinMarketCap, guys, for the crypto. You could use many others in my Discord. There's so many guys, so many options to look at. We're gonna check the ones that we wrote down, guys, to check if there was some improvement or did they failed. We're gonna check these. Hannah, I've been checking this one for a while, for 3 days, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been running all weekend as well, so it's been more than a lot of data to check. So we're gonna analyze that one right now. Hannah. So let's check Hannah, and we're gonna change from stocks to crypto. And is Hannah, what is the name? Hannah Network right here. This is the name of the company. Did it froze? No, it didn't. Okay, so look what happened, guys. Right where I marked, when this price couldn't bounce off this uptrending support, and guess what it did? It went down and it just continued to consolidate around these levels. There's pretty much nothing I could do right now to determine whether it's gonna go up or down. It's way long of a consolidation, guys. I could move this one, but this line is a resistance line, guys. It failed to test these highs right here. Let me see if I can mark it clearly. I forgot to put a horizontal line here as well. Oh my god, I hate when this do that. Appreciate every single one of you guys that are here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. Bear with me. I'm almost done, guys. I know it's a lot of information that I throw at you guys, but this is what it has to be done in order for you guys to speed up your learning curve. So that's the resistance line here. It failed to test those lines, and right now it's consolidating still. So, I mean, there's nothing that can be done with this one. I wouldn't trade a stock in consolidation. I won't. I will wait. I will wait for the stock to get out of consolidation to then take it, you know, make a definitive decision of it. Why this thing went down? I marked it up top. I hate when I have to zoom in and then mark it. So that's supposed to be the top area. It doesn't look like the top area. Ay. Bear with me, guys. I'm almost I'm trying to fix this thing here. Okay. And the previous high of that one is, can I grab the candle, please? Oh, it's this. I'm tripping. It was this one. I was trying to move this down one. And so this is the other downtrending resistance line. I'm not sure. I mean, what it can do now. If it breaks out these levels, then it has a little bit more strength to test the high day, most likely. But very difficult to determine what it's gonna do afterwards. It could probably bounce off of these highs right here and just gap down or dive like it did over here. But I'm gonna take it off the list. It's been a while that we've been watching this one. It might show up again, and it's because it probably broke out, but you know, it's okay. It's okay if we miss that one. It's fine. The point here of this study is to show you guys how to find the crypto, guys, or the stocks. Okay, so 26. Eventually I'm gonna go ahead and change the music because in the future I'll probably do a new playlist today because I'm tired of hearing the same thing. Because I have it looping and it changes. I have like 5 or 6 tracks and it keeps I keep hearing the same old, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to hear that again. But at least it keeps everything balanced here. You guys don't be too bored of hearing me. So with that's gonna be for today. So let's check the other one. ESIM, which is this one right here. And as you can see, guys, once it got broken, it just gapped down. It didn't hold anymore, and you know, it just went through all this support levels. So yeah, this one is no good anymore. So let's go ahead and take this one off. It had a pretty decent run, but failed today. Let's go up, and MEV is another one to check really quick so we could continue our scanning. So look at this. Today it just gap down and break these support levels that became resistance. It tried to get above there convincingly and it failed. So right now it's just on a downtrend now. It's over with. And this is a 2-point contact as well. Oh my god. Well, somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. As long as you know what you're... Because resistance is not at the line, guys. It's all this chunk of price action, guys. And you will only see this on the level 3, guys. And well, for crypto is the level 4. I've never seen crypto on the level 3, but I've seen crypto on the level 4. So if you're trying to find buyer where the sellers and buyers, you probably gonna need the level 4. It's expensive though. Not gonna I'm gonna be honest, totally honest. You know, that software is expensive. Oh, let me extend this one a little bit more. There we go. And so the price is nowhere near this area. So this one is gonna get off the list as well. Oh, well, did I took it off? No, let's take it off. And so the next one is Pandu, and the last one before we start filtering, Pandu. And so as you can see, guys, it failed to bounce off these levels, and it couldn't get above these support levels here that became resistance when it got broken, guys. So failure, failure, failure. So yeah, this one failed. This one I'm not even gonna go through this anymore. Let's go ahead and scan for new ones. And if you see this thing here, I'm gonna explain this really quick with you guys too. But before that, before I explain this, I'm gonna go ahead and scan a new amount of crypto, guys, for you guys. So how we get crypto? Okay, there's many different types of ways you could get crypto. I mean, you could either get a crypto wallet, right, and convert your money to whatever coin that is the different type of crypto are asking are required for you to own their coin. Some of them require Bitcoin only, Solana only, Base only, Ethereum only. Everything depends, okay? And it will only show you through these areas here of supply, okay? You will only know what you need, okay? And so I don't like to trade big crypto. They're already too expensive. I like to do the smaller ones, guys, the most riskiest ones, guys, just like the stocks, okay? But it's to get in the crypto, you gotta, I mean, there's many different like you have to be fast, and there's softwares that favor crypto trade, like day trading, like what I do. But you have to be fast, guys. If you're trying to convert money while trading a stock that is uptrending aggressively, then you most likely on that process, that if you do it manually like that, you might miss the move, guys, very fast, because these ones that I'm talking about, they move pretty fast. And so once you get to more coin market cap, and if you don't see the screen, guys, you want to hit the coin market cap title, right? And then the next thing you want to do is see this filter. If you can see this, then you click on it, right? And then you have this this box here, right? The next thing you want to do, have a criteria too, right? It's not as much as the stock, but these are to find them. Like, you don't have it you don't have to do all the criteria to find these, okay? All you need is market cap, right? You need the percentage change, and you need the volume, okay? Those are the three things you need, right? And so for the market cap, my personal preference is 1 million, right? Market cap, all the way max to 10 million, okay? It's very easy for a market cap of a 10 million, a total market cap value, market value, company value, to go to 20 million dollars versus $1 billion one to go to 10 billion. Very different animals, and this ones are more, they move way more aggressive, okay? This one, price change, is the percentage change, okay, of the crypto. I like to do anything 10% to 500%, Okay, and this volume 24-hour, that's the demand of the stock. Okay, the crypto, the demand of the crypto. Anything from 1 million, right? I want to get in and get out very fast, to 100 million. Okay, and then after that, that's it. You're done. You press apply, and then it's gonna scan all the good crypto available. And I like to sort out from high to lowest on the 24-hour percentage change. And right here, oh my God, you have a lot, a lot of crypto. I don't think we're gonna be able to go through all of them. I'll probably pick one or two. We'll see. Boom is the first one. Look at this move right here. It looks pretty good on this line chart, but you can't determine whether it's gonna continue to go up or down based on the line chart. You have to see the candles. And as you can see right here, it's pretty good. Recent move here. Let's check boom on this chart. And then so as you can see, you see the move here. I mean, it's consolidating right now, but you could have took, if you would have scanned this a lot earlier, you see you have a confirmation pullback right here, just like I said before. You would have caught it here at the breakout, confirmation breakout. You would have got in here on this candle. It went up all the way up to 22% on these 10 minutes, guys. In 10 minutes, you would have got 22%, guys. This thing went up all the way to 33% on that move. Now, the entire move of that day was 186%, guys. Well, somewhere around there, 186 or almost 200%. That's the power of the crypto and the stocks that I'm showing you guys. Telling you, if you don't take advantage, guys, then I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys gotta learn this before you get in and trade. Learn everything. Okay, right now it's consolidating. It has given back half of its gains, and it's just consolidating off these levels here. And it looked like it's a little bit consistent. So when it's consistent like that, you could do a short-term trend line. It's not gonna hurt when it's consistent like that. Okay. So now we know if it's gonna break down, it most likely is gonna have to test these support levels. And this is the resistance line here. This is resistance. Okay. So that's how we got it right now. I mean, we could put it on a list to test, to monitor. I'm not gonna write too much information. I'm just gonna write. Let's see what can we has to pull. Yeah, it's pulling back right now. As it pulls back, there is an uptrending support. If it bounces, if it bounces and has to test high of day at, since we can't, I'm not gonna write that price. I'm just gonna write the time that it went high, which was 13:30 on the 26th. That's it. I'm not gonna, you have to do your due diligence, check the news of the crypto, check the supply and demand of the crypto, the volume, the supply, which is the float of it, well, it says circulating supply, which is the float. You have to check those things, do more research of what the company is, if it's a legit company or not. Do they have really activity on their transaction list, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of homework that you have to do extra for the crypto, but this is what I'm showing. This is how to find them. That's what I'm doing, showing you guys how to find them, which is way more difficult than understanding what you need to look for, okay, in order to trade it. Okay, how to find them is way harder. Okay, and I just did the homework for you guys. So boom is the first one. Let's check this one. We don't have much, guys. I'll probably pick 2 or 3 and be done with them, but at least I show you guys how to find them. And I mean, there's so many. We're not gonna write all 10 or 20 of them. That boom one seems like it has opportunity to keep going. This one doesn't have. Seems like it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm super tired. This one, yeah, it seems like, I mean, it already had its front end of the move already. It had a front end of the move, so I'm not gonna focus on that one. Let's see another one. Well, it shows GameStop here. Is it the real GameStop? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Look, it's at a couple cents here. This one, overall, it doesn't look good, and it's a downtrending stock, crypto right now. So not good. This is GME stop. They didn't even wrote it right here. This is sketchy. But it seemed like it was running this morning. I mean, you could have took advantage here. You could have took advantage of this one, but right now it looks like it's in the back end of the move. I don't know about this one. Let me check it on the chart here. GME. Not sure if it's this one. Nope. GME bet. Maybe it's this one. 0082, maybe 0081. Well, 82, yeah. Wow, it's this one then. Where is it? Right here. It's in the middle. So as you can see, guys, it gave back half of its gains. I don't like watching stocks like this either. Like, it's very difficult to see where the trend is. These candles look sketchy. That's the resistance line here. And so yeah, very sketchy to trade. Let's move on to the next one. I'm not gonna trade it. This one is hard to write down. I mean, I can't write this thing on the very hard. Pay AI is another one. Oh, we don't got much left. Pay AI is the other one right here. Pay AI. And so another stock that has, you see all these channels like this, they look like all these candles are stuck together. I don't like to see stuff like that. I like to see stocks like this. You see, it has a couple green, then it pulls back, and then it goes up a couple green, and vice versa. It could do that too, but vice versa. Right now we see all these channels. You see, they're all stuck together. Very hard to get in and get out. So this one is getting off the list. Well, it's not going to be on the list. Perp is another one to check. Perp. My goodness, I'm tired. We're almost done, guys. Almost done. Pay AI network. Is it the name? AI network? Yes, it is. Pay AI network. Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? Oh, perp is the next one. Perpetual protocol. I don't know what I was doing. I probably because I'm tired. Perpetual protocol right here. Let's check the Coinbase one. Oh wow. I had a pretty good bounce here. Um I mean, you could have called it, probably not here. Very hard to catch. And the triangle doesn't look clear on none of this right here, only on this part right here. But it didn't have a good breakout level here. There's another pullback here. So very hard to trade right now. It does has a confirmation pullback at this moment. That's the high day, and it's hovering on the VWAP, which is a good deal. Let's check. We're gonna add perp to the list. Hovering, oh, with the H, hovering over VWAP, above VWAP. Will it bounce and test high of day? We'll see what's gonna happen there. Very hard to trust on that one. The next one is well, did we already finish? No, got two more left. IMU is the next one. Let me check the previews of it before I add it to the trading view. I appreciate you guys, all you guys hanging out with me and holding holding until I finish. I appreciate you guys. Sorry for being a little bit too long of a stream. We're almost done, guys. This was a recent IPO, guys. Now I had a bounce at these levels. And this it looks like it's going down, but it might bounce off these support levels. Let me see. IMU. And so crypto, is it Immunify? Yes, it is. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, it's almost giving back half of its gains. Very hard to trade. Look at the amount of money there, of price. Crazy. It's confirmation pullback early. And that's the breakout level. Not sure where it can go. Very hard to tell where it's gonna go. Those are my lines, very short term. So we'll see. We'll see what is. I mean, I won't have it on the list though. If it shows up on my scanner, then so be it. Switchboard protocol, SWTCH, and that's the last one. Or is it? Yeah, it is the last one. SWTCH. SWTCH. And so as you can see, like other crypto that I was showing you guys in stocks, yeah, I don't like to see this stuff going on. This looks more clear, but then it went back to the same old. So yeah, not good for me to watch. So that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no more. I'm happy that you guys stick out with me and hang out. I know the video was a little bit too long today, but we did it. We don't have much today. Today we got two stocks, and we have two crypto as well. but actually one, because this second one is just for analysis purposes only. Um, so let's go ahead and copy paste this to my Discord. Discord is open, guys. You guys could get in there and you don't have to join me. You grab the information for yourself. I mean, there's links and stuff like that on the resource panel, and you could grab information there for crypto, for stocks. If you're looking for books to read, I also have a book suggestion section there that you guys could go and get in there and grab whatever. I mean, whatever. Search for whatever book that you're trying to find. That you would love to learn. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Like, I mean, there's different ways, guys, to find success in this. You just got to take advantage. So let's go. That that song, I can't wait to change it already. Let's go ahead and let's see, where is it? I was gonna pop it. Oh, my Discord. So copy paste. This is for the stocks, and then I'm gonna copy paste this other stuff for the crypto as well. So let's do that. Copy paste for the crypto, and that's pretty much it, guys. We already got the stuff for Discord. I mean, there's nothing else to do, guys. So that's how you build a watch list. What I showed you guys a couple hours ago was how to scan stocks, what criteria you should use for these low price stocks, guys. I mean, it doesn't take much to learn. You just gotta know what to learn, okay? And you should be fine. But I would recommend you guys not to start trading until you know what you're doing, guys. Okay. I appreciate every single one of you guys for staying here. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow if you're new, guys. I would appreciate it. This is pretty much it. Let me turn into the intermission. I know I gotta change those videos. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it today, but hopefully I could do it sometime this week or something. So we went through showing you guys how to filter the scanners and everything through Finviz. We used the criteria for the market close, since the market today is closed. I mean, we scanned stocks, and we found two for Discord and two for crypto, so you guys could check on Discord to do whatever research you're looking for. Any questions, hit me in the chat, hit me in the comments. I have multiple platforms you can ask questions. If anything, I'm here. You can ask questions live too. It's up to you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we got more stocks, and we have also analysis of those cryptos and stocks that we watch, guys. So don't forget to share this video with somebody else that might be wanting to learn about stocks. And this is pretty much it, guys. I know I lost a little bit of my voice trying to talk my life out, but we're here, we're alive, and that's important. So this is it. We're back, guys. And yeah, also another thing, if you guys are content creators, right, and you're looking for more people to show support in your channel, and you want some help of sharing your content, contact me, guys. I do this for free, guys. Okay, I do it for free. I grab your name, not your name, your stream, and I share it on other platforms that I have. I mean, most of it is gonna be on the X platform. I also repost your stuff on Rumble, And so I'll do my best. I'll do my best to help you get to where you guys need to get, and I try to support you guys on your stream as well, on the chat. um yeah, if you need some help, just hit me up, guys. I'll do my best to help you. And so this is pretty much it. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, guys. Easy. Peace.